Good morning, Northwood.
And happy March.
Shout out to all instrumental groups for your amazing performances this week, as always.
And be sure to come out next Tuesday at 7 p.m. for Chorus's incredible spring concert.
For everyone who wants a good laugh or just wants to see some unseen talent,
The talent show is next Friday in the theater at 7 p.m.
with that, let's see what shenanigans Kobe's up to today.
Hey Northwood, welcome back to NTV Live. I'm your host, Kobe Park. First things first, let's go check out a feature on Olivia Horniak.
I've always had a passion for animals and caring with them. I remember when I was little, I'd play veterinarian with my stuffed animals.
With her passion for animals, Northwood Junior Olivia Horniak dedicates her time to fostering the smallest of hearts.
I first got interested in fostering when I heard all these stories about the dogs that were getting abused in the shelters and euthanized because they weren't considered good enough to be adopted out. And I realized that there was something I could do to help, and if I took a dog into my house, then that's one more dog that could be pulled from the shelter and saved.
Once she felt ready, she decided to dedicate one of her summers to fostering a dog.
My first dog was named Elliot. I brought him home. He was super nervous and he was in an unfamiliar environment, and that was like terrifying for me as a foster. The longer we spent time together, the more comfortable he got. We'd come home from adoption events and be tired, and like we'd watch TV together, play with his toys, and that was fun. When Elliot was being adopted, and Ezra was meeting his dog for the first time, and he hadn't met the dog before, he just reached down and gave him a huge hug, and that made me realize, like, this is right.
After parting with Elliot, Olivia discovered how rewarding fostering could be.
I'd say the most difficult part about fostering is knowing that that dog is going to leave and still giving it all the love you possibly can. It's really hard to get attached to something and then have it taken away from you. But seeing that dog in that home and seeing the family so happy, it makes all the pain worth it. I would tell a person who's considering being a foster to just go for it. It is one of the hardest things I have ever had to do, but it is also one of the most gratifying things I've ever had to do. It will change your life. Fostering will change your life.
How inspiring. I love dogs myself too. I even have one dog. Next up, we have a 3-part series on some of the untold struggles here at Northwood. This is Northwood Untold. Check it out.
Before I knew, it was kind of, I understood how life worked. So I thought I'd grow up and I'd have like a wife and I would have kids.
When I was having these thoughts about boys and girls, I was like, oh, there must be something wrong with me.
I never really had that fear. It was always kind of residually there, but I never really, had this burning fear that if I came out, my life would be in danger.
I didn't really know what being bisexual was. Maybe it's just like an experimentation. Maybe I'll like forget it eventually, and I tried to like push it back. But obviously that didn't work for very long.
My freshman year is when I put the pieces together. I am a homosexual. This is it.
My parents are atheists, but they also are very socially conservative because they came from China. I had to come out to them twice because the first time they didn't believe me.
Last year I came out on my Instagram. I didn't want it to be a super big deal, but I felt like I had to include so much that it turned into like 3 paragraphs.
I went up and I said, hey, like, can I talk to you downstairs for a second? And he said, yeah, sure. And he rushes downstairs. He's like, what's wrong? Who died? I pulled up my mom, my dad, and my sister in the room, and I said, like, guys, I'm gay. And it was really hard. It took me like 5 minutes to like summon up the courage. Everyone was stunned. My sister thought it was a joke.
I actually was very happy to have parents that support me. It's what made coming out really easy. And I just told them, hey, I'm gay. They were just kind of like, nodding their heads. Like, I didn't have to explain anything to them. So if I were to tell my closeted self, I would probably tell them, like, just to not be afraid of what other people think of you, because you can't please everyone, you know?
I would say those girls you think are pretty, you want to be friends with them, but maybe you want to be more, and that's okay.
It's okay to be who you are, because eventually you'll find people who will be just like you.
In the long term, it's your life, not theirs. Either they will come to terms with it, or that's just gonna be them and that's on their part. It's not your fault. Life has so many twists and turns that you can't blame a lot of your struggles on one thing.
I think it's important for anyone in general to just look out for each other, because at the end of the day, we're all people and we should be standing up for each other.
If you don't know something about someone, join GSA and learn about the gay community. Because when you know about them and when you've met them, it's so much harder for you to hate them.
So obviously, these struggles here at Northwood can't really be described by words, but I hope we were able to shed a little bit of light on it. Next up, let's see how much our boba lovers at Northwood really know about their boba.
I like sweat boba.
My name's Sydney, and I am definitely a boba connoisseur, I had to say. I get boba at least minimum 3 times a week.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
My name is Eric. I grew up drinking boba.
I'm Ben. Boba's like my life.
It doesn't have the full flavor, you know. It's like corporate America boba, almost.
Lollipop.
I think that's like Tebow.
Lollipop.
Tebow.
And even though it's in this cup, I can still feel like I'm holding that weird shaped boba bottle.
Class 302, because that tastes like it. I've had it.
Boba's harder.
I think this one's 302.
Tebow.
Lollipop was the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and then this one is 7 Leaf.
7 Leaf.
Class 302.
And Tebow.
Okay, so you guys got 2 wrong.
What? No.
So we kind of just switched it up.
Yeah. So I got 50%.
I got 50% too.
We're together we're 100.
Yeah, together we're 100%.
You're wrong for all of them.
So I guess the boba lovers are just all talk. That's it for me, Northwood. Now, on to Sydney Griffith with NTV Sports.
Hey Northwood, welcome back to sports. I was getting a little nervous there last week that Mr. Marchant and Roach were going to take my job, but shout out to them because they did fantastic. Boys lacrosse is already off to a great start with 2 wins against Esperanza and Tustin and play tonight at Laguna Hills. Baseball also has a win and plays tomorrow at Kennedy. Spring league season is just 2 weeks away, so teams are preparing right now. Make sure to wish them luck as they finish off preseason. Well, that's all for this week, Northwood. There's not much happening right now, but I'll see you guys later. Thank you, Sydney.
To all my AP students, if you're planning to take an AP test, be sure to sign up as soon as possible.
Today is the last day for regular registration for only $101, and next week starts at late registration for $150.
Speaking of planning, if you plan to attend Northwood next year, make sure to turn in your residency verification forms as soon as possible.
Well, that's all we have for this week, Northwood.
Have a great weekend.
But I know they'll never own me. Baby, be the class clown. I'll be the beauty queen in tears. It's a new art form showing people how little we care. We're so happy, even when we're smiling out of fear. Let's go down to the tennis court and